How's it, Indian Cowboy? We are live for the general public live show. We are live now for the next 20 plus minutes. Have your games ready, and we will discuss tomorrow's ball games tonight. Let's roll. It is a wait a minute. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Undo. It is a recorded podcast. So if you miss it, it's all good. I recap it at the end. All right. Hope you guys are doing well. This is a live show that is open to the general public. We are going to do this once a week where we open it up to the general public. Hope you guys are doing well. And let's go ahead and start talking about some ball games that you want to talk about. I think I have this available for everybody. Again, this is open to literally everyone. Let me make sure I got the participation things right. Make sure that it is open to everyone. Tuesday night, 10 p.m. So go ahead and start sending me the games that you want to talk about here. Let me make sure. Chat replay, who can participation? Anyone? Yep. Participation mode. Anyone? Hey, how are you, Rob? Good to see you, my man. Padres Marlins tomorrow. Sure, we'll talk about that game. That'll be the first game we talk about here. Anyone? Reactions? Let me take this off here. Let me take slow mode off, and then here we go. So, okay, so it is available for everybody. Good stuff. All right, so let's start with game number one here. Game number one, it is going to be between Padres and Marlins. One second, let me grab a different marker here. All right. Game number one, Padres and Marlins, courtesy of Rob. And go ahead and start putting all the games in here, and I'll recap it at the end for you as well. This is normally what we do for YouTube Premium, but once a week, we do it free for everybody. Everybody can comment on this right now, and we can talk about, by the way, nice 7-unit winner here on Minnesota and Dallas over the posted total, which was nice. Hopefully we'll do it again tomorrow. Nice free pick winner on the White Sox, I think, too, as well. So, all right, so we're talking about the Marlins game tomorrow here. Hey, FU, good to see you. So Padres Marlins tomorrow. What are they doing now? Padres won 9-4 as a plus 120 dog. All right, so San Diego, Miami here. (24-29), 28-26. San Diego has lost back-to-back games, and then they won this game 7-10 and 2-3, and they just won this game. Miami coming into this game having won against LA 6-2, 8-5, and 2-0. So they've won 3 in a row, and then they lose this game. So Miami's on the bounce back here. Miami's on the bounce back here, and San Diego wins as a plus 220. So San Diego ends up beating up, Miami's best pitcher basically almost as a 2 plus 220 dog. So now what happens? Does Miami bounce back? Now you have Ryan Weathers, Braxton Garrett, San Diego, Miami, 5-5-2, 5-3-1, 6-6-2, Arizona, Mets, Atlanta, 5-3-4, 6-5. So, I mean, Weathers has kind of struggled. He did just go 4-7-3 against Miami, and he beat them. And he gave up 1 run in that game. And he's been averaging a hit per inning, including 3 walks in his last game. I suspect here, Braxton Garrett here, has he faced San Diego yet? He has not. He went 3-6-2, 4-9-2, bad games against the Mets, but then he settled down 5-1 against Arizona, 1 against Cleveland, 11 against Atlanta on that really horrible bad game, 4 against Arizona, settled in, 1 against Cincinnati, 0 against San Francisco, and 2 against Colorado. I like the Marlins here. I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense to take the Marlins here. Yeah. So game number 1, I like Miami. And again, I'm not going to type this because we can get through more games when I don't type it. But I do like that Miami here because I think what you have here is Braxton Garrett on the bounce back. He went 5.62 against Colorado. He comes off a loss. He gave up 3 walks in his last game. That's a season high in walks. And you combine that with the fact that you have a pitcher here in Weathers who faced Miami last time and beat Miami, but he got roughed up a bit. I think he gets hit pretty hard here. Therefore, Miami has revenge against San Diego. Miami's on the bounce back, and Garrett's on the bounce back. I like this game a decent amount here. Therefore, I like Miami Marlins. That's your game number 1. All right, moving on here to game number 2. I see you are the man. Thank you, Diesel. Appreciate it. So, Rob, I like Miami a decent amount there. How are you feeling about the Falcons upcoming this season? I'm very excited. Feel like they're going to surprise a lot of people. I do too. I think the Falcons, I actually like the over for the Falcons. I think their GM is really good. I think Ritter's going to have a much better season. So I actually like the over on the Falcons. But we'll have 3 NFL futures free for all you guys as the season gets closer. FU Money. Hi, IC. Hey, FU, good to see you. This is free, but everyone should join the golf club. I see the truth. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you want to join the YouTube Premium, do it. This is what we do on YouTube Premium on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, I believe. So Snell is pitching Astros Twins. So for the Astros Twins game, so this is, for Wednesday, 28-26, 31-22. So what you have here, Minnesota comes off a 7-5 win over Houston. That was May 29th. That was yesterday. So what happened today? Minnesota is down 1-5. So let's just assume that Minnesota loses here. Minnesota's on the bounce back. They're about a plus 135 dog. They had beaten Houston. Now Houston immediately bounces back. Houston, outside of the back-to-back losses against Milwaukee, they don't lose a back-to-back game. So that's interesting. Varland and Brown here. So now can Minnesota, Varland has not pitched against Houston. 6.63 against the Yankees, 4.74 against the White Sox, 6.51 against San Diego, 6.43, 5.62, and 6.73. Now you have a Minnesota pitcher who's on a bounce back, who comes off giving up 7 hits in his last game and 2 home runs. He is going to pitch better. No doubt he's going to pitch better. Maybe Minnesota plus 1.5. What does Hunter Brown do here? What's his situation? Has he pitched against Minnesota this year? He did. He went 7-2-0, and he basically shut them out. 4 against Detroit, 0 against Minnesota, 0 against Texas, 4 against Atlanta, 0 against Tampa Bay, 2 against San Fran, 4 against Angels, 3 against White Sox. Coming off 10 strikeouts, season high in strikeouts, 19 strikeouts. So I like Minnesota plus the 1.5 because I think Hunter Brown is in for a huge letdown because after 19 strikeouts and dominating Oakland in back-to-back games, I think it makes sense here to take Minnesota. And then you have a Minnesota pitcher, Varland, on a bounce back and who has revenge against Houston. It makes sense here. Give me Minnesota plus the 1.5 as well. All right, moving on here. Let's see. Yeah, I see. Nice pick on the Indiana over. Thank you, Zihu. I appreciate it. That was our YouTube premium selection. And we also want our free pick, I think, on the White Sox as well. Moving on here, game number 3, Tigers versus the Rangers. Gavin Priest upgraded to YouTube Gold. Hey, Gavin, welcome aboard, man. It'll be exciting. We do this. We try to get to about 7 games every night and just kind of extra content for you, but we do it free once a week as well. Moving on here, and that way we give back to the general public. And normally it's around 9:30, 10, something like that. Tigers Rangers. As far as Tigers Rangers is concerned, Texas comes off that nice 10-6 win over Detroit. Detroit's a feisty team. They play a lot of overs. Tigers. When is this? This is what? Tigers Rangers. Oh, this is the first game on the. Love it. You are a degenerate. You want to bet the first game on the board tomorrow. So Dale Dunning versus Detroit hasn't released a pitcher here, but again, you have Texas winning 10-6, 5-0, 5-2, 12-2. So winning 4 of their last 5. They just beat Detroit. So Detroit's on the bounce back. Texas out hit them 13-6. That was a game where, So Detroit rolls in here, coming off back-to-back losses. Unlikely that they lose 3 in a row. Detroit's going to show up. They're going to be an active dog. But who is going to pitch for Detroit? That's the question. Let me know if you know who the Detroit Tiger pitches tomorrow. So Dunning comes off of a loss to Pittsburgh, so he's going to be motivated. 3-3-1-0-0-0-0-0-0. 2 runs against Cincinnati, 2 against the Yankees, 0 against LA, 2 against Seattle, 1 against Atlanta, and 1 against Pittsburgh. So you have Texas pitcher on the bounce back. He has not pitched against Detroit. And then your Detroit, who is coming off of a loss. Is there a total on this game? There's no total. I don't have a Detroit pitcher. I can tell you that you have a Texas pitcher on the bounce back, and I'm assuming Detroit. And this was a high scoring game. I like the under in this game. Is Wentz the pitcher? All right. So if Wentz is the pitcher, if Wentz is on a bounce back, which would be great, then we're going to take the under. So let's go look up Wentz now. Joey Wentz pitches 3.03 ERA. So he's a relief pitcher, I take it. 4.65 against the White Sox. 2.10.6 against the Washington. Horrible. 2.63 against Seattle. Has he pitched against? Has he pitched against? Has he pitched against Texas? No. But he did go 5.32 against Cleveland. And he did go 5.42 against Baltimore. And he is coming off back-to-back horrendous starts. Wentz doesn't have typically 3 straight bad starts in a row. So I'm going to go with game 3, Texas, Detroit under, because they went to 16 runs this time. Dunning is on the bounce back. Wentz is on the bounce back. Wentz is on back-to-back horrible losses. And I think, therefore, they're both going to pitch well. And I think that game goes under the posted total. Again, I will recap all of this for you at the end, and I'll tell you the minute mark in which I recap it. But if you want to listen to the reasoning behind it, then you can go back and watch the video. All right, moving on here. Who's got another game for me here? So far, we have San Diego, Minnesota. First game, I like Miami. Tomorrow, game number 2, I like Minnesota Twins plus the 1.5. Game number 3, I like Texas and Detroit under the posted total. Someone give me another game so we can talk about game number 4. We have to talk about at least 6 games, if not 7 or 8 games. Who's going to shoot me a game? There we go. All right, Snell is pitching for the Padres. So wouldn't that change your selection? If Snell is pitching for the Padres and not Weathers like I just saw, then I'm going to go look at Snell. But I am seeing Weathers and you are seeing Snell. But I'm going to take your word for it and assume that what I'm looking at is wrong. Has he pitched against Miami? No. Is he on the bounce back? No. He went 3. I still like Miami. 3, 4, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 6, 1. 4 walks in his last game, 4 against the Dodgers. He got a little lucky, 5-4-1 against Washington with 4 walks. He's not going to get lucky against Miami. And no, it doesn't change my selection. I like San Diego I like Miami still. Moving on here. Angels versus White Sox. Angels at plus money. Hey, Michael, good to see you. Thank you, Artez, for that, by the way. So Angels versus White Sox. White Sox winning 7-3. Are the White Sox going to continue to keep rocking the Angels? White Sox are my free play today. I don't know if you saw it or not. I rode Giolito. So you have Baraya versus Lance Lynn here. The White Sox are turning things around, man. They're 12 games under 500, but they are not. I said this on the video. They're not like a 12-game under 500 team. They're playing much, much better. They just started the year horrible. And now they come off a win, it seems, today. The Angels are off of a loss, but the Angels lost to Miami in 3 straight games. Yes, they swept Boston, but they're not playing that great. And Baraya has a 1.55 ERA, and yet he is the underdog. The 1.55 guy is the underdog. I love it. He gave up 4 runs in 3 innings to Seattle, then 0, then 0, 0, 0, 0. 1 to Oakland, 0 to Milwaukee, 0 to Texas, 0 to Baltimore, 0 to Boston, and then 1-1-0 against Miami. I don't think he's a great pitcher, but I mean, for him to be an underdog is fascinating. Lance Lynn has a 5.83 ERA, but the difference here is the reason why Lance Lynn is favored is because the Angels can't hit the ball. And Lynn went 6-3-1 against Detroit in his last game when Detroit was playing well. He went 6-4-2 against Kansas City, and he went 7-7-1 against Cleveland. He's won 3 in a row quietly. He started the year really bad, 2, 8, 3, 5, 4, 4, 4, 7, but at the last 3, and he comes off a game where he gives up 5 walks. So I like the Chicago White Sox again, even though LA can't hit. Barre is typically a relief pitcher. Leaned 5 walks in his last game, not to mention the fact he's won his last 3. Great spot for the White Sox. Like the White Sox for game number 4. Moving on. What's up? Like the under in game 1 of the NBA Finals. Hey, Quad. Good to see you. Quad is our degenerate friend. He is a YouTube Gold member. We like him so much. For game 1, it's hard. And Miami comes in as an 8.5-point dog, which is interesting. Public on the over. Denver won by 4. Denver won by 5. Both games went over. The last 5 have gone over. I think I would not underestimate. The funny thing is Miami was up in that game when Denver beat them by 4 points on the road. And they actually shot pretty well. They shot 58% from the field. Miami didn't even shoot that well. And Denver, how many free throws did Denver shoot in that game? 15. Miami shot 20. Miami had 8 turnovers. Denver had 13. I mean, I like Miami. I mean, I like game 1 taking the Miami Heat with all the prep that they're going to have. I know that Denver is rested and blah, 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 but Miami has double revenge. Getting Miami a plus 8.5, getting them to quote, and then immediately, Denver had to shoot lights out to beat them last time. Give me Miami plus the points. Breanna Stewart has 15 points with 4:33 left in the third. Do you have the over on the prop? I take it. Because that's what we talked about in YouTube Premium earlier today, which was interesting. All right, I'm going to give you 2 more games, and then we're going to call it a day. So game number 6. Yeah, I love the Heat plus. I do too, Zihu. I do too. I got Stewart over 22.5. Yes, over 22 points. Yes, that's what we talked about. We said that she faces her old team, and she's going to step up. So see how that works out. Cubs beating Rays, not good. Cubs beating Rays, not good. Yes, they're a plus 150 dog. Was that one of my leans today? Is that why you're telling me that? No, I didn't have that today. My free pick was on the White Sox. My other selection was on the Liberty. And then my YouTube premium was on Indiana, Connecticut over, which was a winner. Pittsburgh, San Francisco under. And the Yankees, Seattle under is my daily premium selection. Yes, but if you took them as a heavy favorite, yeah, it's not good. Pirates, Giants, Keller versus Wood. Okay, we'll talk about that game next. Pirates, Giants. Did we not talk about Pirates, Giants? I guess not. Okay, so Pirates, Giants, they're tied 1-1 right now. Pirates are sneaky good. They're just 1 game under 500. Kind of depends on what happens in this game a little bit. I told you the game might go to under because of the 4-14 game yesterday. Whenever there's so much runs scored in one game, the next game, it's like the Tigers game today. The next game typically goes under. San Fran won 14-4. So what's going to happen in this game? Who's going to lose and stuff? So it's going to come down to Keller versus Wood. Both these guys have about a 3 ERA. Has Keller pitched against the Giants? No. 4, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 1, 0, 0, 2, 6. So Keller's on a bounce back after a horrible start against Seattle and 2 home runs. All right. So he's on a bounce back. Can he pitch against good teams? Can he step up when need be? He did go 6-2-2 against Houston. What else do you want the guy to do? He's won 8 out of his last 10 starts, 9 out of his last 11, something crazy like that. He went 7-4 against Boston. The guy comes off, 2 home runs, the most he's given up all year. Yeah, I mean, that looks good. And yet, Alex Wood is favored here. Has Alex Wood faced the Pirates? No. 1 run against White Sox, 0 against the Dodgers, 1 against Miami, 1, 2, 4, 1. 5 walks in his last game against Milwaukee. This is a tough game. I think there are better games out there. This is a really hard game. What's the total at? Total sitting at 7.5. The under does make sense, but 70% are on the over. Yeah, I don't know why you would want to be on the over in this game. And Alex Wood is expected to pitch well, but yet Mitchell Keller comes off a bad start, right? Didn't he come off a bad start against Seattle? Well, 2 home runs, he's going to be pissed, and a season high in hits. Yeah, I like the under in this game. I think it's a good public fade. I like Pittsburgh and San Fran under. Wood comes off a season high in something. He comes off a season high in walks or home runs rather. And then you have Alex Wood coming off season high as well in walks. 5 walks, I think, in his last game, 70% on the over. I like the under in that game. Video lean on the Rays. I did not give a video lean on the Rays. Video lean today is on the White Sox and the Liberty. Nothing on the Rays. Must have been another Indian Cowboy. Moving over, maybe on our live show. Maybe on our live show I gave the Rays. That might be what it is. Moving on here. Nuggets 9-1 versus the Heat last 5 years. Pretty crazy. Yes, but Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler, and I think he might be tired hungover, possibly. Zehu, yes. I remember on the live show I didn't give it that. You're right. Hey, I see. Who's your favorite pick to win in the French Open tomorrow? I mean, probably Alcaraz because he's upset he lost in Rome. That's probably what it is. But White Sox, thanks for that one. I put 2 units on the props on that one. Good. I'm glad you did. I need one more game to talk about, and we'll call it a day. David, hey, Rockies Diamondbacks. All right, let's call that our last game here. Rockies Diamondbacks total sitting at 10. Anyone know who the Arizona pitcher is? Text or send it to me, or the Colorado, not text it, but put it in here, the Colorado or the Arizona pitcher. I don't have either pitchers listed here. So Colorado right now is getting beat 0-3 to Arizona. How about Oakland throttling, or not throttling the Braves, but beating the Braves so far consistently? That's because those Oakland pitchers want to play for Atlanta is what it is. So Colorado looks like they're going to lose that game. Maybe Henry versus Lambert. Okay. Live shows. So Henry versus Lambert. Okay, let me go over here. Where are you guys getting your starters, by the way? So Henry, has he pitched against Colorado? He has 5-7-4. So Colorado has revenge. 3-4-2-2-4-2-1. All right. Fair enough. Henry versus Lambert. Jimmy Lambert, not Jimmy Lambert of the White Sox, but maybe Peter Lambert. I'm assuming it's Peter Lambert. 0-0-2-2-5-1. Has he pitched against Arizona? No. It might not be Peter Lambert. It might be Dinelson Lambert. Is it Dinelson? No, it's going to be Peter Lambert. So you have Colorado that's set to do well tomorrow, and I think they're losing today. I think it makes sense. But Lambert struggled 2-6-5 against Miami, 2-3, 2-2, 2-2, 3-2-0. If this game goes under, it wouldn't surprise me. But it's only listed at 10 tomorrow, which is pretty low, which means that he's probably going to come through, which means Arizona pitchers on a 71% on the over, too. I actually like the Rockies tomorrow. And I think that's the reason why I actually like the Rockies plus the 1.5 plus tomorrow as well. That'll be game number 7. I think they'll do well. I think that young kid is going to finally come through because he only has limited choices and limited chances. All right, let's do a recap here. Note that I am recapping at the 23rd minute mark. All right. Game 1, I like Miami. Minnesota Twins plus the 1.5. Game number 3, I like Texas and Detroit under. Game number 4, I like the White Sox. Game number 5, I like the Miami Heat. Game number 6, I like Pittsburgh and San Francisco under. And game number 7, I like the Rockies plus the 1.5. Those are your 7. Yankees up 6-0. Thanks for the content. I say F you money. David Artez. Shay, what do you think about Seattle? You skipped my pick early. Seattle. We skip Seattle? Let's see. Clayton Schmidt and Kirby. This game, Yankees up 6-0. Does that suck? Yes, it does. That's not good. Well, Yankees up 6-0. Hopefully they won't have any more scores. We'll see what happens. But as far as if the Yankees are up 6-0, then I think Seattle could be in a decent spot here with Kirby against Schmidt. But Schmidt lost in his last game. Has he pitched against Seattle? He has not. 3-4-3-3-4-0-5-0-2-7-2-1. Schmidt's on a bounce back, but Seattle's going to be ticked off after getting crushed in this game. Totals at 7.5. And then has he pitched against the Yankees? No, but he comes off a horrible start. 3 runs against Atlanta, 7 runs against Pittsburgh. He has to bounce back here after 4 home runs in his last game. 7-6-0 against Boston, 6-8-1 against Boston. 3 Oakland, 1 Philly, 2. Yeah, I mean, I like Seattle. I think that after he gave up 7 runs and 3 runs of back-to-backs, it's first time he's given up back-to-back losses all year, including 4 home runs. I think he probably comes through. So I also like Seattle as well. So let me recap again at the 26-minute mark. 26-minute mark. I like a Miami Marlins. Game number 1. Game number 2, Minnesota Twins plus the 1.5. Game number 3, Texas Detroit under. Game number 4, White Sox. Game number 5, the Miami Heat plus the 8.5. Game number 6, Pittsburgh San Francisco under. Game number 7, Rockies plus the 7.5, 1.5. And game number 8, I like Seattle. And that might be our premium selection tomorrow as well. That's what we have for you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Enjoy the content, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Take care. And this is what we do on YouTube Premium. And obviously, many of you are on YouTube Premium, but if you're not, this is kind of what we do. And we'll try to do it every Monday night at 10 o'clock for free for the public. And obviously, YouTube Premium, folks, I see you every night anyway for about 20 minutes. See y'all then. Bye.